Hi guys, it's Ben Heath from Lead Guru, and in this video, I'm going to talk about Facebook ads and dropshipping. The two are often paired with each other. There are tons of so-called experts recommending that you run Facebook ads to a dropshipping business. That's a great way to have success, a great way to make money. I have quite different views on that, and I want to explain why and talk about where I think dropshipping does actually have a place and where you can use it, which is quite different to what's usually recommended, okay? Before we get into that, I just want to very quickly ask you to smash that like button and of course subscribe to my channel if you are new and haven't done so already and you're interested in Facebook advertising related content, which is what I regularly release, okay? So I've got some sort of stuff to show you on the screen in front. You'll find that interesting, hopefully, later on. But I want to provide a bit of an overview first. I'm not a fan, for the most part, of dropshipping in general, and actually particularly when it's combined with Facebook advertising. There are a number of reasons why. I'm going to go through them because I think it's important to address it. The first is that most dropshippers provide a terrible customer experience. You may well have had the experience, I certainly have, where you order something through a Facebook or Instagram ad, product looks great, nice little video, click through, buy, and it was hidden somewhere in the T's and C's that it takes 3 to 4 weeks for it to arrive, which in the day of next day delivery and Amazon Prime and things is just so not what you expect. Then when it does arrive, it's really poor quality. You try and check out the company and realize it's not really a legit company. There's not really a customer support team. You can't get in touch. You can't get a refund. You can't send it back. You just have to live with it and move on. That is a terrible, terrible customer experience. Now, I'm sure there are dropshippers that don't do that, that do provide a good customer experience. But from what I've seen, they're the exception, not the rule. I think most dropshippers, and if you've been involved in dropshipping yourself or you know dropshippers, you may well appreciate the fact that most dropshippers are just trying to make a quick sale, make their money, move on, never want to hear from the customer again. And they don't even really care about the quality of the product because they're not interested in repeat business, all that sort of stuff. Delivering a terrible customer experience is always going to hurt you in the long run. It is not a sustainable business model, ever. So that's the first big reason, is a poor customer experience. And by the way, I should quickly mention that I've not sort of had one bad experience with a dropshipper, and that's where this is coming from. I've spoken to literally thousands of business owners advertising products and services on Facebook and Instagram. Many of dozens, hundreds probably have been dropshippers. So I've seen enough to recognize the trends here. Okay, now providing a terrible customer experience really hurts you in combination with Facebook ads for a couple of reasons. The first is actually outside of Facebook. So if you are using Facebook ads to reach a really large audience, which you can absolutely do, one of the fantastic things about the platform, you can generate a lot of sales very quickly. So you can very quickly go from nothing to a dropshipping store that is spending quite a lot of money, generating thousands, maybe tens of thousands of customers very, very quickly, like within a month to 3 month sort of time frame. But those chickens can come home to roost, because if you're providing a terrible customer experience, all of a sudden you've got customers that aren't happy. They're asking for refunds. You think you've made this money and you haven't. You're having to now dole that out. Or if you don't provide the refunds and you're saying to people, look, the parcel hasn't arrived yet. It does say in our T's and C's it's 3 to 4 weeks delivery. Customers aren't going to be happy with that. They're going to be contacting their bank. They're going to be requesting chargebacks. When they request chargebacks, Stripe, PayPal, the payment processors, they hate that. It's bad for their business. You're seen as a bad business to provide their services to. You get enough chargebacks and Stripe, PayPal will be looking to shut you down. So dropshippers, none of the platforms like that business model, other than maybe AliExpress and things like that, right, that are set up for it. But none of the big platforms that you're using, like Shopify, PayPal, Stripe, and Facebook, which I'm going to get onto in a minute, none of them really like it. So they're trying to shut you down because they know you provide not you specifically, but dropshippers in general provide a poor customer experience, and that negatively impacts everyone who's involved in that process if you provide a poor customer experience. Okay, so there you get enough chargebacks, you like to get shut down. And what I see happen this so often is, because dropshipping stores can go from 0 to 100 miles an hour so quickly, it then kicks in month 3, month 4, and you're in big trouble. And you're having to do tons of refunds. You can end up losing money very easily. I've seen that happen a number of times. Okay, so that's one of the main reasons why providing a poor customer experience is terrible. Another one is what Facebook do. So I want to quickly bring up, I'm going to go back to what I had in a second, but you can see down here we've got a page on Facebook's Business Help Center. And the title here, and you can read through this if you want, is How Page Feedback and Purchase Experiences Impact Your Ad and Commerce Performance. Basically, Facebook cottoned on that a lot of this was going on. A lot of dropshippers were providing terrible customer experience based off of, and they were generating their customers through Facebook and Instagram ads. Again, part of the reason why I don't like dropshippers using Facebook and Instagram, even though I recognize because the platform's so strong, it's the best place for them to advertise, because it gives Facebook and Instagram ads a bad name. If someone goes on and buys something through a Facebook ad and they get a terrible customer experience like I've described, they might not just think, oh, that's a bad business, I won't buy from them again. They might think, oh, don't buy anything from a Facebook ad. You get these, rubbish Mickey Mouse businesses that aren't serious and yeah, so I'll never do that again. That really negatively impacts the Facebook and Instagram ad platform. So Facebook's solution was to start surveying users, and they would say, like, how was your customer experience? And if you get too low a feedback score, Facebook they'll first give you a warning or two, and then they will just completely stop your advertising. And I've seen this happen with a ton of dropshippers where they get a feedback score, Facebook changed the metrics, but out of 5, let's say if you average below a 2, which is a pretty low score out of a 5 to average below a 2. If you average below a 2 for even a reasonably small length of time, like a few weeks consecutively, Facebook's like, nope, you can't advertise. We cannot have you damaging our platform, which I completely agree with. Very glad that Facebook do that. But there's another reason why, if you're providing a bad customer experience, which a lot of dropshippers do, Stripe's trying to shut you down, PayPal's trying to shut you down, Facebook's trying to shut you down. Good chance Shopify, if you're using Shopify, is going to try and shut you down. Like, people are really not wanting you to use that business model. And of course, you can find out more information about this on this page, or the specifics of the feedback score if it's not something that you've encountered and experienced before. I won't delve into too much of the detail there, but just to know that that is a thing. If you don't treat your customers that are acquired through Facebook and Instagram well, Facebook will at some point go, nah, you're done. Okay. The other big issue with dropshipping is that the barriers to entry are so low, which is why people love it, because they can get involved. And it's why a lot of experts recommend it, because it's so easy for the people that they talk to get started. But that means it's so easy for other businesses to copy you. So I've brought up the Facebook ad library. In the Facebook ad library, you can see any ads that's being run from any page, Instagram account, etc. I've got videos specifically on the Facebook ad library, so if you want more detail in that, link will be in the video description below. You can check that out, how to use it, all that sort of stuff. But if you find a product, let's say, that works really well in a dropshipping store, and you look to scale that campaign up, you've got your ads everywhere, other people are going to see it. And if it looks like you're doing really well, they're going to work that out and they're going to copy you. This happens all the time. So I said, a lot of dropshippers will go from 0 to 100 in a couple of months, but they might be done. They might have lost their competitive advantage by 6 months in. This happens, I've seen this happen so many times. And the reason why is because, let's say they're selling a product for $30, okay? And they're generating a cost per purchase of $10. And from the manufacturer, it costs them $7, okay? So total cost is $17 per sale. They're making $13 profit. They think this is fantastic. They start a campaign fairly small and they scale the budget as fast as they possibly can. Well, what happens when other entrepreneurs, other people interested in dropshipping spot this? They can access almost certainly the exact same product or something very similar, because you don't have any IP around that product. You don't have any stock. Okay, they can go and sell the exact same product often, and perhaps someone comes in and they offer it for $25. Well, immediately your campaign is going to be much less effective. So you have to drop your price, and then they drop their price, and then other people drop their price, and you end up competing down, and you compete away all your profits. And you could easily end up with a dropshipping store that has had competitors come into the marketplace advertising the same people you are. I mean, you shouldn't kid yourself that you found this tiny segment of people that no one else advertises to. That doesn't exist. You're advertising to the same people, they've undercut you on price, or even if they haven't undercut you on price and they're offering the same price, and instead of just seeing your ads and then ads for all the other things someone's interested in, they're seeing 5 or 6 people advertising the exact same thing. Well, that's going to massively impact your results. And you can see dropshippers that started out profitable for the first few months, scaled it up, other competitors came in the market, they have to scale back down. They often end up in a situation where they can generate sales, but there's no profit in it. So they still got let's say a $30 product that they're selling. Their cost of purchase gone from $10 to $20, $23, $25, $20 to $25. Their cost of goods is still $7. They're just about break even, maybe not break even. And because they're not building a brand and not delivering good customer experience, that's not a good strategy because you're not going to get repeat business and all that sort of stuff like you would if you were building a proper brand. Okay? So there's rarely any longevity in dropshipping in combination with Facebook ads. Often, and this is something to really watch out for, when you see, so-called experts and particularly people on YouTube recommending dropshipping business models and using Facebook ads to promote products, they will often give examples of their results. There's two things they will nearly always do. Firstly, they won't show you their profit. They'll just show you the revenue numbers. And there's no advantages to generating 100 grand a month in sales if it's costing you 100 grand a month in advertising, which again happens all the time. They won't tell you their profit, they just tell you their revenue, which doesn't mean anything. You could easily generate 100 grand in sales and give all of it over to Facebook and the manufacturer and not make any profit for yourself. So that's the first thing they'll do. The second thing they'll nearly always do is they'll show you really short time horizons. So they'll show you, I started a store and within 30 days I got it to this point, or within 3 months I had these fantastic results. They'll almost never say, I started a dropshipping store and I've had great results for 3 years. And the reason why is because of what I've just talked about. Other people, competitors, will come in and they'll compete away your margins and they'll offer the same thing and they'll take some of your market share. Happens all the time. So if someone recommending a dropshipping model can show me evidence that they've succeeded over even a 3-year time horizon, which is not that long, then I might start to listen and have a look. Until then, very, very skeptical. So that's another thing to really keep in mind. So let me jump back to this page here, and I've called this campaign, for just a bit of fun, dropshipping campaign with unrealistically large budget, because I think there's just so much stuff I see online. I'm very much in the Facebook ads world. I offer technical advice and things that we do based on what we do as an agency, and I see so many of this very quite ugly, to be perfectly honest, dropshipping stuff out there that's quite disingenuous and things like that. So often, I just thought it'd be a bit of fun to call the campaign that. But often you scroll down, you see someone doing a demonstration and have something crazy like £100,000 a day daily budget, like I've just popped in there. And it's just so unrealistic, as I said, especially for any length of time. Now, the point I want to make here, and I'm just reading to make sure I've got all the aspects, is don't obviously go for the full package that's often sold to you, particularly, again, if that person's trying to sell something to you based on the back of it. So if you see all this sort of stuff, the crazy daily budgets, only the short-termism, they're not showing you their profit numbers, just their revenue numbers, that's not, if you want to use dropshipping, and there is a scenario in which I think dropshipping can work, that's not it. The scenario in which I think dropshipping and Facebook ads works well together is not this, it's testing. The barriers to entry on dropshipping are so low, it's so easy, and the risks are so low financially that I think it can be a great way to test. But I do want to limit it to test. So let's say, for example, that you want to start advertising a new product range. Okay, instead of taking on all the costs, teaming up with manufacturer, getting a load of stuff imported, having to sell all of it to even see half of your money back, instead of doing all that, it can make a lot of sense to test with a dropshipping model. And of course, test with Facebook ads. Now, what you're looking for there is not something that can make a profit, because as we said, even if you do make a profit, it's not going to be sustainable if you just stick to that dropshipping model. Instead, what you need to do is identify, okay, this can sell to the target market. It looks like there's a lot of demand. Take that knowledge and then do it properly. And then build a proper brand, a proper business. So go, okay, great. We know that this product, whatever, does resonate with our target market. Fantastic. We ran that campaign for a month. We found out that it worked. We're going to move away from dropshipping now. And I wouldn't scale up massive budgets in the meantime. I wouldn't have we got up to 100 grand a day in 30 days kind of stuff. I would instead then be like, right, we're going to work with a manufacturer. We're going to have branded product with our own brand delivered. We're going to make sure that product is as good quality as it could possibly be, or really good quality for the price point, let's say. We're going to take inventory of it. Or maybe you don't necessarily take inventory. You could work with Amazon fulfillment or something like that. There are high quality fulfillment centers that will do probably a better job than you would taking delivery of your product. But someone is going to have a hold of your stuff that then gets sent out to your customers that matters, that people care about. You're going to take those steps and tick those boxes. And you're going to work on delivering a fantastic customer experience and delivering a brand. Because if you can build a brand around a product in 6 months' time, there won't be tons of competitors selling the same thing as you because your thing will be differentiated. And in 3 years' time, your customers, may well be willing to spend twice as much on your product as opposed to the equivalents that dropshippers are selling, because yours is better quality, because there's some brand recognition, because etc. I found, and this is something that massively a journey I've been through personally over the last few years, that whenever I'm now making purchasing decisions, as my time got more and more constrained, like I have a young family, I have a business, I just go straight, like if I'm trying to buy something, I'll be like, who's the big brand or who's the recognized as delivering quality brand in that space? I'm just going to go buy their thing. I'm not going to do research. I don't have time for that. And so I may be paying much, much more to buy a product that's of similar quality, maybe a bit better, from a brand that I know well, because I know it's going to be shipped correctly. If there's any issues, I'm going to be able to get it sorted. I know that it's going to be of a certain quality. Like I know if I buy anything from Apple, it's going to be good quality. It's not going to break on me. I just know it is. Simple as that. And I think that there are enough people that maybe don't do it to the extent that I do, but are along those lines. You go and eat in restaurants that because you know it's going to be good more easily than new ones. People try new stuff, of course they do. But if you want that longevity and that business is going to be successful in 5-10 years' time, you deliver a fantastic customer experience, you build a brand, you make it unique, you put your messaging and voice behind it, and those are the companies that work really well. There are not a lot of these so-called dropshipping experts. You need to be really careful with what they say. As I said, they don't show you long time horizons. They never show you their profit number. And to be quite honest, if they found a secret product or setup that worked really well, I very much doubt they'd be sharing it. Okay? You always got to think, why are people sharing content? Now, I share my content because it's applicable to tons of different businesses, and we get a lot of our clients through the content that I share. I educate them, they get some results, they think we want to take it to the next level, they come work with us. So my motivation for sharing stuff is very obvious, very transparent. I'm not giving away my, trade secrets, as it were. I'm not, I share tons with you guys, but what we do, the value add that we provide is the day in, day out, detailed stuff. It's based on the experience, and hopefully you understand what I'm saying here. If there was one little trick that determined all the success of my business, you wouldn't share it. My business isn't like that. There's not one little trick. But if there was, as a lot of these dropshipping experts claim, you wouldn't go and share that information. So just be very, very careful. Not a big fan of dropshipping and Facebook ads. In fact, if nearly all dropshippers, and I said there are exceptions. In fact, we've had clients that are dropshippers and have done it well with next day delivery and things like that. There are exceptions, but for the most part, not a big fan. Those are the issues, and that's the truth of the matter. There's a lot. The amount of dropshippers genuinely making a substantial profit for any sustainable length of time is tiny. That's the truth about Facebook ads and dropshipping. That combination, the people who are like really doing well and succeeding, very small percentage, far less than 1%, guarantee it. Okay, hopefully that has been useful. A couple of things before you go that I'll quickly mention. The first is a free webinar I've created called 3 Killer Facebook Ad Strategies to Double or More Your Revenue. And if you're serious about Facebook advertising, you want to build a proper business, build a brand, I would absolutely recommend you go through that webinar. Completely free, link is in the video description below. 60, 70 minutes long, and it will show you exactly how to build a sales funnel that's appropriate for your products and services, which is very important. Strongly recommend you check that out. Other free thing I want to mention is my Facebook Ads Mastermind group. So we've just gone past 115,000 members in my group. Fantastic community. If you want to be a part of that, It's full of Facebook advertisers just like you, asking questions, getting them answered. I do free live trainings. If you want to be part of that, go ahead and join. If you enjoyed this video, please comment below to let me know. Comment if you've got any questions. Subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye for now.